next stage is a little bit more complicated. This is adding all of your users and permissions. So if you go in here, you'll see the users that you do have will already be listed here, but you have to create users because currently there are no users in your account besides the organization manager. You can edit individuals that already exist. You can change their passwords if you need to. There are all sorts of authorizations down here that you can add or remove. Or basically you can add. We don't have authorizations that you can remove, but it can allow you to know what that person can and cannot do. There will be probably a much further explanation on this, but you do want to look at it so you can see what's going on. Most of the people in this account, this is the Worm Super Admin Crazy CITO account. So all of our people have all the permissions so that we can make sure that we can help manage everything that's going on. But you can update users here. But firstly, you need to add a user. So pretty simple. You put in their email address, you put in their name, you choose their role, and then you have the password and a confirmation password. Going to roles, we've talked about this a little bit. You may have gotten an email about it. The gist of it is the organization manager basically can do everything in the account. They can manage the organization profile, they can add users, they can manage the curated lists. They have access to do anything within your organization's account. They can't do anything to someone else's organization's account. They just have access to their account. They can also view, as we've discussed, other accounts, as any of these people can just view. The organization editor does not have access to all of these profile settings except for their own individual profile, but they can edit anything on a particular event. So anyone that is going to need to update a record, change information, can be an organization editor. And then we have the viewer. So a viewer is somebody in your account that can only view information. They can do reports, but they can only view information. And that also means that they can also view information in other accounts as other organization accounts, as we've talked about before. So they can only view, do reports, and that's it. So those are our three normal user roles. We also have a user role specifically for Emma. She has a special role, and then the NOAA managers also will only have these three roles within the particular NOAA account, but you guys don't need to worry about that at this point. So then you'll create a user. Now the important thing to know right here, which you will need to do, is you will, after you create users, and you have to give them a password, you are going to need to contact your users and say, hey, I added you. This is your email address. Hopefully they already know what their email address is. And this is your password. Please sign in. They'll have to do the verification information again. And once they are signed in, they need to go to their profile and change their password. You could use a generic password for your entire organization and all the users that you are going to add, similar to how we are doing CITO 2024 ! You could do that with your organization and say, hey, I've added everyone and this is the password. Now go in and change your password, because you know how passwords are. We want to keep this pretty secure, and we don't want other people signing into other accounts with a similar password. So that's the big number one thing that needs to happen first with all the users. They need to go in and change their own passwords once they're created. Are there any questions about that so far?